Right, all right. Video. Record. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. Happy New Year. This is actually the first live episode of State of the Real Estate Market for 2024. So definitely appreciate everyone chiming in today. It has been a busy year thus far. So, but that's always a good thing. Busy is good. There is a lot of things going on in the real estate market, and that's what we're going to tap into and letting you guys know what is going on at the top of the year. People are a little bit more focused, what's going on. Everybody has that new burst of energy. So let's go ahead and get into it. Happy New Year to everyone. Definitely appreciate you guys chiming in today. So let's do this. All right, once again, this is the episode for January 2024. If you guys haven't had an opportunity yet, be sure to like and to subscribe to the YouTube channel or any of the other platforms that we're on, but we do go live on the YouTube focus. Those that follow me on the other platforms such as LinkedIn, uh, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Be sure to chime in. If you guys want to get the latest and greatest, be sure to tap into all of those platforms. We like that. Like, subscribe. We like that. Share this information. Also, feel free. A lot of people have been sending me messages on topics that they have questions about, especially if they're starting to get into the real estate market, if they're looking to sell their current home, or even if they're thinking about buying new construction, as well as investing. A lot of people are looking at investment opportunities. That is a big thing going into the new year. As always, just send me a message and it might be something that we've already talked about and I can share that information with you, or we can make that the next hot topic that we discuss in the state of the real estate market. But let's go ahead and dig in, guys. So, like I said, like, subscribe. You can follow me. My handle is at Chris Brown RE Pro. Once again, Chris at Chris Brown RE Pro. Go ahead and follow me on the social media platforms. Well, here we go. What trends to look out for in 2024? So a lot of people have been asking this question, what should they expect of 2024? Is there going to be any difference as in what happened in 2023? Towards the end of 2023, things did start to slow down. The interest rates, they did receive like a little bit of a spike, and then they started teetering off a little bit. So what to expect in 2024? A lot of economists are very optimistic about what's going to happen in 2024. And I mean that in the sense of people are very positive. They have a positive outlook as to what's going to happen. They feel that the Feds have raised the interest rates to a point where there's no more going up. We need to come back down. So we're going to see how that actually triggers the market, especially in the first quarter and second quarter, as we are approaching 2024. And there's just so many things to look out for, so many different trends, the type of trends of, people moving into single family residence. Some people are looking at container homes. Some people are looking at tiny homes. Some people are renovating their current home. So it's a lot to look out for. There's different markets where people are shifting to and actually moving to if they feel that they can't expand or do what they want to do living wise in their current market. I'm in the Tampa Bay market, and this is a hot market. A lot of people are coming to the area. A lot of people from the Northeast, a lot of people from out West. They're finding opportunity here in Florida, even finding people in Florida moving to Tampa. So it's one of those scenarios where get in where you fit in. So, guys, the trends to look out for are continuously going to be revolving doors and what to actually focus on in 2024. But hey, I'll be here to kind of give you guys updates on latest things that are going on in the real estate market. We do this market update once a month so that we can make sure that you guys are staying abreast of the new trends and also what's hot and actually what's going on, especially if you're thinking about selling your home in 2024. Now, with the interest rates, towards the end of 2023, there was a slight drop in some of the interest rates. And with that being said, buyers started coming back in the market. They're starting to come back into the market because people are starting to gain a little bit more interest. As I've previously said, guys, it seems, and we're keeping a focus on this, it seems that we are starting to trend towards pre-pandemic trends. And what I mean by that is that typically in the fourth quarter of any year, things typically slow down a tad bit just because there's so many holidays, people are moving around, traveling, they're having people come to their homes, so they're not ready to show their homes all the time. So now that the holidays are pretty much out of the way, now everyone has a new focus moving into 2024. Buyers may be more interested, sellers are a little bit more motivated to actually start focusing on getting their property sold. Now, with these interest rates dropping a little bit, buyers are starting to wake up. And with buyers starting to wake up, this means that they're looking. They're trying to see what inventory is out there. We're still experiencing low inventory. This is also a good time where new construction is actually starting to shine a little bit. People who may be in a position to go ahead and purchase a home, they may say, hey, I want to look at new construction just to kind of see what those homes look at like. So keep in mind these interest rates, as they keep coming down, guys, more buyers are going to start coming into the market. There's going to start being a little bit more competition for sellers that are selling their home. So my sellers that have been on the fence for a while, they're really thinking about what they're going to do. This is the time to really start getting your property ready, tighten it up a little bit more, add a couple of bells and whistles if you can, because buyers are going to start coming back into the market. So this is a conversation that I have with my sellers on a regular basis right now. And this is what I'm reaching out to them, those sellers that were on the fence, saying, hey guys, interest rates are starting to come down, and that only means one thing. That means that buyers are going to start having more of an interest, as I've told you in the past. As these interest rates come down, buyers are going to have a little bit more interest as in what is going on and looking for opportunities for a home. Because some buyers that were on the, or sellers, excuse me, that were on the market prior to the new year, they may have been out there for a while. So now this is the time where they're like, okay, maybe I'll get someone to buy it. And they're a little bit more willing if they've been out there for a while. Now, the fresh ones that are coming out may not be as much room to negotiate. And as these interest rates come down, as the interest rates come down, more buyers are going to be looking at the same properties because it's low inventory. So they're all looking at the same property. So keep that in mind. So for my sellers that are out there, it's time to start getting these properties ready and making sure that they can shine, dust off those diamonds, and let's go ahead and let them shine. All right. So what to expect with prices? Like I said, in people that have been on the market, especially my sellers that have been on the market for a little while, they're starting to reduce the prices. You're seeing it all. Now the prices significantly dropping. In some markets they are. So that's why it's always important that you're working with a local real estate professional that understands your current market. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, so I'm constantly looking at different areas of the Tampa Bay, different counties in the area, just to kind of see how prices are, if they're going up or if they're being reduced. As these interest rates come down and buyers are coming back into the market, it's going to be a hesitation on those interest rates, or excuse me, on those prices dropping, because now you have more people interested in that home. So why would they drop the price? Only times you typically drop the price if you're trying to attract more buyers. As these interest rates come down, this is what's going to happen. So prices haven't really significantly dropped, but they have received some bit of a drop towards the end of the year. We're going to see, in my opinion, if these interest rates keep going down, you're going to see a stabilization in the prices. You may even see an increase in some of these prices. But keep an eye on those interest rates because they work side to side with each other. So as those interest rates come down, you can expect the prices to be steady or even going up because the demand will be a little bit higher. That means it's more affordability with the homes as the interest rates come down, because with the higher interest rates, the affordability of homes and that monthly investment was much higher. So seller trends that get homes sold. There's so many different things. The guys that have been following me, I've created multiple tips on how to get your home sold in 2024. I'll be releasing that information for those who follow me on my other platforms. You've been getting little drops of that information as in how to get your home sold in 2024. I think what we're going to do is actually come up with a book of these trends to look out for in 2024. And then in 2024, you guys will be able to take this book and really get your property sold. And this works on multiple markets. It's some of the primary things that get properties sold. You know, when we were going through the whole pandemic and prices were shooting through the roof, a lot of the traditional methods of getting a property sold or things that you needed to do to get a property sold, they went out the door because there was low inventory. Prices were cheap for these homes. People were willing to take properties that actually needed repairs. That's not going to be happening. I don't foresee that happening in 2024, especially with the higher interest rates than what they were. If you guys recall, we were looking at interest rates just below 3%. Now we're looking at above 6%. So it's like the interest rates have doubled. But things to look out for, sellers also keep in mind that understanding the process of buying down the interest rate for a potential buyer. Now, I know that's a little interesting, but a lot of times buyers are going to ask for some type of incentive, especially in today's market. Consider having your incentives go towards buying down their interest rates. And a lot of times that can be pre-planned before you place the property on the market. That's something that I'm going over with some of my sellers is that, hey, if we plan on placing this property on the market, these are some incentives that we can typically encourage people to have. You know, we'll give a certain amount to reduce the actual interest rate so that the home becomes a little bit more affordable for them as they are considering the price in their offer, or if we're counter offering. So a lot of times sellers are not going to want to do a big reduction just to get the buyer into the property unless they're superly motivated. And we understand some of those things that if you're in a position where you have to sell your home, that motivation goes up a little bit more for you to actually get that property sold. So that's something that I'm adding to my repertoire as I'm speaking to different sellers. Hey, this is something that we may need to consider. Let me explain this process to you, because it is new to a lot of sellers right now. Because buying down the interest rate, that wasn't typical, but having incentives to go towards closing costs, that's very typical. So it's nothing new because it's happened in other markets besides the current one that we're in. But a lot of times it's about educating the seller as in what they need to do to get their property sold, especially in 2024. Is it a good time to sell? Yeah. I mean, you're like, all right, I'm a real estate professional. Am I always going to say that now is a good time to sell? It depends. And what I mean by that is because a lot of people, they don't have to sell their property. A lot of people that were selling their homes before is because they were looking at the amount of money that they were getting from the property. And then also that it was easy for them to transition or upsize into a different property. So as I'm speaking to my different sellers right now, if they're looking to upsize, we got to sell the property. Let's consider what our next moves are going to be. The market is strong right now. So this may be an opportunity for you to kind of get your property sold, but not only focus on that, but focus on the end result, and that's getting into the next property. A lot of people are selling their older homes for a newer home, and if that is the case, then that is an opportunity for people to upsize, be able to get their current property sold. This is the time to do it, especially when you're starting to get that vibe of new buyers are coming into the market slowly just because those interest rates are coming down. And for those individuals who are selling a property, they're going to have a bigger down payment. So with that being said, they still want to keep that in mind, what they need in order to purchase a new property. So those are some of the questions that I ask my sellers is like, hey, if this doesn't sell at this particular price, would this hinder you from moving on to your next property? And a lot of times they're like, well, it won't necessarily hinder them, but they won't be able to buy the additional furniture or buy the big screen TVs that they wanted to buy once they sold their property, or buy a new car with the new house or new boat with the new house. So those are some of the things that sellers are really having to consider as they're moving forward and really considering, hey, what am I doing in this market right now? Am I going to get this property sold? What do I need to do in order to get it sold? So as 2024 is here, the real estate market is something that we're going to really have to keep an eye on if you're buying or selling a property, and also if you're investing. So a lot of my flippers that are out there, a lot of them are finding opportunities, but the flip side is, flipping properties. The flip side is you really got to understand your exit strategy. Understanding your exit strategy when you're investing in a property is going to help you determine the steps that you make in the beginning. Because if you plan on holding on to the property for a couple of years, then it may not, you have a little bit more leeway then versus, hey, I'm going to rehab this property or construct this property, and then I'm going to sell it. With that being said, that's additional time that the property is going to need to be on the market, because you got to figure, to build a property, it's going to take you 6 to 8 months. To rehab a property, it may take you 3 months, give or take. Uh, Especially if you have a crew that's in place, it could take a lot less time than that. But it also depends on what your exit strategy is. If you're looking for first-time home buyers, you also have to consider if they are the type of financing that a first-time home buyer would have. And that's typically FHA. If it's FHA, a property has to be seasoned. So keep that in mind. Typically, it's 3 months. So even though your project is done in a month, 30 days, if your end buyer is first-time home buyer FHA, they can't purchase that property until it's been owned by the owner for at least 90 days, 3 months. It needs to be seasoned. Confirm it with your market that you're in, but typically it's about 90 days. So with that being said, you have to look at the whole picture and not just how you can get into the deal when you're dealing with investment properties. That's something that we're going to be talking about in 2024, making sure you guys understand. I'm going to take you guys on a couple of field trips too, so you guys can kind of see some of the properties that are being constructed, how people are actually doing what's called infill projects, where they may have an old property that they may tear down and build a completely brand new property. Or maybe a situation where they have an existing property and they have a good amount of land, and they add an additional property or structure onto that property. A lot of them called ADUs. So those are additional units that people can either rent out, they can live in, get the kids out the main house, put them in the back house, however you want to do it. But that's what's going on in 2024, guys. 2024 is definitely going to be a hot market. I really see things picking up, especially as these interest rates are slowly coming down. Things are going to happen, and you guys need to stay, keep an ear to the ground, as I would say, or just tune into me. I'll make sure I keep you guys up to date as to what's going to happen, what trends to look out for, because things are going to be changing. It's all about the what's next aspect. So what's next, what to expect when you're moving into 2024, guys. These interest rates come down, you're gonna start seeing things move a little bit more. And then it's also election year, guys. I tell you, and I continue to tell you, when it's an election year, you're gonna have to anticipate some weird things or non-traditional things that are going to happen to the market that aren't so typical, or you won't be able to predict it, because it all depends. Election years can be a little tricky, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting out there. If you need to sell your home, go ahead, feel free to reach out to me. This is something that, if you're in the Tampa Bay market, something that I offer potential sellers, is that, hey, I'll do a free market update with you, where I'll actually analyze your property, analyze your market, and come back to you with an analysis that will help you make a decision on what to do with getting your property sold. So, hey guys, once again, this is 2024. Congratulations, we're all here. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you guys want to reach out to me, feel free to contact me. My social media handle, I get a lot of people that hit me up on social media. Chris Brown, RE Pro, at Chris Brown, RE Pro. Feel free to send me a message. I'll be sure to reach back out to you, as well as, hey, set an appointment. This should be, if you want to book a one-on-one with me, there should be a tab there that you'll be able to book a one-on-one, where we'll kind of discuss what your current situation is and what you're looking to do, especially if you're looking to sell your property in 2024, and that you're in the Tampa Bay market. Obviously, I help the surrounding counties in the Tampa Bay area, but you may have a general question. Feel free to do that as well, especially when it comes down to investments. A lot of people have been sending me messages on that, and I'll be doing some videos on a lot of those questions, because they're very common questions that people may have when they're investing in real estate. So I want to make sure that you guys are getting the utmost information to you guys. So with that being said, guys, hey, thanks once again. I appreciate you guys tuning in and being a part of everything. 2024 is going to be a great year. I look forward to helping different individuals in regards to making real estate decisions. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I am a Buffalo Bills fan, and we have a big game coming up. So let's see how we do. And I'm a little bit on the fence with this, because I have some associates that play for the other team that's playing this week. So It's a little tough, but I've always been a Bills fan, so that's how we keep it. So much support to them. Also support to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are in the playoffs. They made it past the first round. Uh, man, I'm a Bills supporter. That's what I tell everybody. Excuse me, Buck supporter. I'm a Buck supporter, a Bills fan. So that being said, guys take care.